Gwyn sat half asleep in his armchair, the sound of the clock barely keeping him from dropping off to sleep. It had been a long, boring day for our Gwyn. He had sat in that chair from the moment he got out of bed this morning. Aside from his occasional trek to the bathroom and that long journey to the kitchen for a sandwich, he hadn't really done much of anything. Mind you, for him to do something, he would need something to do, which at this moment in time he didn't. But then...
Oh, bugger, what's that? Another bloody bill, probably.
Gwyn put on his slippers and made his way to the door. When he picked up the letter, he discovered that it wasn't a bill or a bank statement, or one of those sponsor an animal you've never heard of leaflets. It was, in fact, an invitation.
Hello, friends and neighbours. We are inviting you to join our practical group for men down at the courthouse in Maesteg, Thursday morning, 11 to 1. Lunch this week will be chicken curry, mild. You do the ring of fire? Yeah. And a special rice. Our workshop this week will be on drawing, orchestrated by our lovely friends at the local arts centre.
Gwyn was intrigued. He'd never heard of a practical group for men before, and tomorrow was Thursday. He'd have nothing else to do. There was a photograph of some of the men, and to Gwyn's surprise, he recognised one or two of them from the days at the colliery.
Well, I guess an hour down there won't do me any harm, will it?
That morning, for the first time in a long time, Gwyn woke up with a purpose. He practically jumped out of bed. I said he practically jumped out of bed.
All right, man, I'm going.
And so Gwyn went about his morning routine. Breakfast, shower, brushing his teeth, complaining about the next door's cat.
He's been in my bloody garden again.
But soon he was ready to set off. He walked down the hill, down to the high street, a chorus of people shouting.
Hiya! All right, Matt? Morning! Hi, darling!
Gwyn knew their faces, but he didn't know their names, any more than they knew his. So he waved as he passed. He felt a little unsure of himself. In the old days, Gwyn knew a lot of people, especially when the mines were open. Everyone seemed to know everyone, but things were not as they were. It all came back to him.
Was Ronnie all right after? He had to have his foot taken off, but he'll live. Oh, there he is now.
Hiya, boys.
Hiya. How are you coping, Ron?
I was bad at the time, but life goes on, doesn't it?
You might get half price off your next shoe shop.
Even in the worst of times, you could band together and get on with it. But that was a long time ago, and some things take longer to heal. Gwyn stands outside the door of the courthouse. He is hesitant to knock.
Oh, no, I don't know. No. Maybe I should forget about it.
What are you standing outside for? It's freezing. Come in.
Di, who had opened the door, leads Gwyn to a small room full of men of a similar age to himself. Some he recognised from the colliery, but others were obviously farmers, and even a few military types. Some played pool, others were busy cooking. Charlie, the head chef, approached and shook Gwyn's hand.
Hello, good morning. I'm Charlie. I'll see you met Di, right? He'll talk your ears off.
I'm sorry, just turn up, but I wanted to come and see what this was all about.
Come and join us and don't be nervous. Just go around, I'll introduce you to the chaps, if you wish. If not, you can just mindle in. I said, I'm the cook, and I do lunch for the boys. I said, what the group's all about is to trade skills with everybody, right? And you can come and have a laugh and a good bit of fun and talk about man's problems. Guys alike, we won't like talking about man's problems. We got a music group. Guys want to come and play music and share their different skills. Oh dear, I wonder what that is in the kitchen. I better go and check that out.
Gwyn approaches one gentleman at the back of the room who is making tea and coffee. Gwyn decides to give him a hand.
Pardon me, is it Ronnie?
Aye, Gwyn is there? I've not seen you for years. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You still married to, oh, God, what was her name? Used to work in the sweet shop.
Pauline Evans.
Pauline Evans, yes. I remember it like it was yesterday. How is she?
She died a few years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Did you have any children?
No, doesn't matter.
Sorry, but...
How are you, anyway?
Well, I was living in Sarn for years, but I've moved back now. Been coming here for a few months. It's good to see you, but if you want to chat, plenty of the boys have been through similar things.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Right, everyone, we're going into the workshop now. Hope you've all got your pad and pens.
The men stepped into a large room, some whistling to themselves, others talking. Gwyn follows nervously behind.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Burda, everyone. I'm Rosie. I'll be talking you through today. Hopefully not too much. Wouldn't want you to sit there and hear me bang on forever. So what we're doing is getting used to the idea of focusing in on an object and interpreting it your own way. All of us will look at the same thing or situation, but we all think of it differently. So I have here a fruit bowl, which I hope will provide some inspiration. And if you want to take it home, you're more than welcome.
We never say no to free food, do we?
All right. Well, I'll go into more detail later, but right now, just have a little go.
Gwyn was lent some of Ronnie's paper and tried his best to copy the image of the fruit bowl, though he was not convinced he was doing it very well. In fact, he was starting to get frustrated.
Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, no.
Are you all right there?
Not really. It's crap, really. It's not that very good.
Why'd you say that?
I don't think I'm doing it right.
Well, there is no right way to draw it. It's how you look at it that matters. Don't worry about copying it perfectly. Just draw what feels right for you.
Gwyn decided that he may as well go for it. It wasn't as though he had to come back to the group again if he didn't feel right. But to his surprise, Gwyn actually found that his second drawing, while not a mirror image of the fruit bowl, was a lot better. He began to settle to the task.
How are you getting on?
I tell you what, a lot better than I thought I would.
Fair play. There's some nice detail in there. Good job.
Gwyn continued sketching things over lunch and enjoyed conversing with the group. He was not so nervous now and was made to feel quite welcome.
You coming next week?
I tell you what, I'll check my calendar.
Really? Audience with the Pope, is it?
Well, I might pop back from the Vatican for 5. Just to show my face like.
See you then.
See you then.
It hadn't been such a bad day after all.
Blue Scars has been a Shed Quarters production, written and directed by Kyle J. Gibson, recorded and edited by Andre van Wyk for Celtico Radio, with Roy Price as Gwyn, Kyle Gibson as Ronnie, Colin Roberts as Charlie, David Griffith Williams as Di, Shirley Lloyd as Rosie, Roger Ackerman as Minor 1, Roy Meredith as Minor 2. The play was narrated by John Gates.